So I want to spend a little bit of time talking about Python in general, so you know a little bit of the background history of the language, why it's so great, and where it came from. This is the guy, Guido van Rossum, who in the late 1980s was working as a data researcher using a language called ABC. And he discovered that the programming language he was using to do his research was inadequate. It wasn't doing all of the things that he wanted it to. Some of the things that he wanted to do could be done, but it was a lot of work. So, like any good nerd might do, he started thinking about how can I make this easier on myself? I will say this throughout the class, but computer scientists are primarily driven by laziness. Okay, we want the computer to do the work for us whenever possible. So he said, how can I create a new language that does what I wanted to? So he started building on this ABC language that he was using, taking lots of inspiration and things from that, but adding the things that he wanted. And so what he came up with was a language called Python. And the great things about Python is that, number one, it's easy to learn. That's why we're here. That's why we use this for this class, because it is easy to learn. Python uses more natural language. What does that mean? That means when you look at the code, even if you don't know all of the commands and the functions and the things in the code, it's a lot easier to figure it out just by looking at it than maybe a language like C++ or, heaven forbid, something like assembly. So there are lots of computer languages out there. Python happens to be easier to read. Whenever possible, Python uses names and functions and commands and keywords that make sense given what they do. So, for example, we talked last time briefly about the print command. Well, print prints something. It puts it out to the screen. So it uses more natural language. It's versatile and extensible. What does that mean? That means it does a lot of things. And extensible means it actually does more and more all the time, because you can build what are called modules or add-ons to give Python new capabilities. And the really cool thing about Python is that extensions and modules can even be written in other languages. So if there's something that Python can't do, like talk to your smart refrigerator, you can actually build a module in a different language that can talk to that and talk to Python, that allows you to do stuff with Python that you couldn't do before. And finally, and most importantly, Python has a huge, really helpful user community. So if you're trying to figure something out using Python, chances are very, very good that somebody has tried to do it before and has written about it online and shared that information so that you can partake in that. You could see from 2012, Python was invented way back here in the 80s, but from 2012 to 2018, you can see that Python rose to popularity as one of, if not the most popular programming languages in the world. And it's got millions and millions of users. Now, in case you think Python is too basic to be useful out there in the real world, all of these companies use Python scripts in their production code, meaning the code that actually makes Google work is written in Python. Not all of it, but a significant portion of it. YouTube, Bitbucket, Yelp, Yahoo. Does Yahoo still exist? This little baby here called Amazon. I don't know if you heard of them. They probably run your whole life like they do mine. The old Facebook, Netflix. And the one that's interestingly enough not on this graphic, Microsoft, which by the way has their own set of programming languages and tools. but still uses Python for some things. Primarily at Microsoft, Python is used for training artificial intelligence. Python is used to train ChatGPT. So Python is a big deal. Python is a huge deal in artificial intelligence and machine learning. Its set of tools are unparalleled when it comes to those things. So if you want to get into AI research or AI development, Python is your golden ticket. So what can you do with Python? Just about anything is the answer, but web development, data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, robotics, game development, scientific computing, databases, embedded systems, and Internet of Things. Literally, everything is going to be connected to the internet pretty soon. From your refrigerator to your toaster to your toilet to your front door. Anybody have like smart home stuff at their house? Yeah. I just installed a thumbprint door lock that is connected to my phone, so I can lock and unlock a door for my house. It's a little scary, but we did it anyway. I don't have an internet connected refrigerator yet, but I think they're kind of interesting. It's like somebody put an iPad on the front of a refrigerator. I don't know why you need to stare at a refrigerator that can tell you what the weather's like, but it seems cool anyway.